It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBsports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Armstrong Memorial Park for Game 2 of our high school softball Mercer County Tournament semifinal doubleheader on WBCB. The Irish are in, taking care of the Steiner Spartans 4-2 in our first game, and the winner of this one against the Hun School and the Robbinsville Ravens will meet the Irish in the final on Wednesday. And we'll have that action for you on WBCB. This afternoon's game brought to you by Capital Health System, the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Haldeman Ford Subaru, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow. Thanks to Kessel Dermatology, the Revere Restaurant, the New Jersey Education Association, Vlasic and Cassidy Attorneys at Law, Hyundai of Trenton, the Trenton Thunder coming back for more Trenton Thunder baseball on June the 4th. Their season gets underway. We thank them for their support of today's game. Thanks also to the Italian People's Bakery and the Trentonian. This is the Trentonian pregame show. First pitch coming up in just a moment. And one of these two teams is going to be ticketed for the Mercer County Tournament final on Tuesday. And it's the Robbinsville Ravens that are the number 1 seed. The Raiders of the Hun School are the 4 seed. So Ravens are at home. The Raiders are away. And they'll have the announcements of the starting lineups coming up in just a bit as we welcome Fish here into our Trentonian pregame activities. Rich Fisher, what do you think about this second matchup of our high school softball doubleheader? Teams we don't see quite as often on WBCB, but certainly no strangers to our fans.
No, well, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, we've seen Robbinsville come up with its 2 biggest wins of the year. The Ravens have lost only twice this year. Once was to West Windsor North, and the other was to Northern Burlington. But they have beaten 2 games we've had on BCB. They beat Notre Dame, which is in the final, and Steiner, which was the 3rd seed in this tournament. Right. So they certainly deserve this number 1 seed. They're playing Hun, 17-1, and as we discussed a little earlier, a little controversy. The CVC coaches have voted to do away with the Mercer County Tournament, do away with prep schools playing against public schools, and Hun coach Kathy Quirk said, she thinks this is horrible and she's upset that it's happening and things like that. And as Rick Fortenbaugh wrote in today's Trentonian, he said, Hun doesn't come to this tournament every year. He said, they come when they have a good team. And, Chris, I don't know how to look at this thing. I really don't, because to me, the only sport that's really been affected by the preps is soccer, with the Pennington boys and girls dominating, and they get players from all over the world. At least the boys do, and maybe you don't want that, but I don't see these other sports being dominated by the preps all that much. I mean, Hun won it baseball a couple of years ago. PDS won it in boys basketball last year, but they hadn't won it in a while.
And whether you're pro or con, I think one way to look at today's game is this is going to be maybe a little history making as far as last time around for this format, the way this tournament has been for so many years. That take note of this matchup and what may be coming down the road, but let's enjoy it today.
Yeah, and look, it's kind of like what Rick wrote today. The preps don't dominate this tournament. Robbinsville, Steiner, Notre Dame, sometimes Allentown, a little bit Heightstown would dominate this tournament. But, Hun's trying to crash the party. And look, Hun's not happy. They're upset that this has been taken away from them. And, their coach made note, said that. So I guarantee you Hun is coming into this thing with a chip on their shoulder. And, they want to say, hey, if you're not letting us in this anymore, we want to win this thing. And I think they got that going for them.
Right now, starting lineups getting introduced on the PA, and Robbinsville Ravens coming out there. Reserves getting introduced first. And we'll take a look at the starting lineups in just a moment. And one of the interesting things to note, Lexi Coburn, who is in the circle for the Hun School, has recorded 600 strikeouts, but also is responsible for 100 hits.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty unique, I think, feat to be able to accomplish. Maybe not unique, but unusual to be so good in the circle and such a big part at the plate. So she'll be in the circle for the Hun School, and pitching today for Robbinsville is Katie Ziliani. And like I said, there's no strangers here, and certainly a lot of our WBCB softball fans are pretty familiar with Katie Ziliani.
Oh, for sure. She's just having an outstanding year. She, since she got her control under control, I guess you could say.
Her command under control.
Yeah, her command under control.
Her commanded.
She has become a different pitcher this year. She has been fantastic. And last year, these two teams played last year. Robbinsville won 3-0. And Katie threw a 3-hitter with 9 strikeouts. And
certainly that's on the mind of the Hun School. They mentioned that when I asked them about this matchup and what they've been talking about today's game. They said, yeah, a little bit of history, a little bit of revenge factor.
Yeah, they've seen her, so they know what she's got. And Coburn, she threw a 5-hitter with 6 strikeouts in that loss. So this is another great pitching matchup, just like we had in the first game. And look, to control Robbinsville, you got a tall order. You got the first 3 batters in those lineup. Haley Krebs, another national anthem.
Yep, hold on a second as we honor America with the Star Spangled Banner and get you closer to the first pitch here in Mercer County Tournament softball semifinal action. All right, we are set to play ball. It's the McCaffrey's game of the night here on WBCB, and brought to you by Capital Health System, the Hun School, taking on the Robbinsville Ravens. And again, the winner here will meet the Irish, who picked up a victory over Steinert in the first of our 2 games on BCB. Chris Irmer with Rich Fisher, Makai Gundy doing our video engineering, and Brienne O'Neill behind the camera here for this second game. Make sure to stick around even after the action. We'll have our Italian People's Bakery player of the game, Bianca Pesh, had that distinction after our first contest, helping the Irish to get past the Steinert Spartans.
That was great. We got to throw her grandfather under the bus right on the right on the broadcast with her. Going back to this, Chris. The top 3 in Robbinsville's lineup: Haley Krebs, 523, Caroline Walsh, 508, Ariana Tomlinson, 473. They all have speed. I mean, you got to worry about them. And then with this team, with Hun, you got Sam Jolly. She's batting .527. By the way, she would have gone to Steiner too if she didn't go to Hun.
Wow.
And then you got
Must be in the water.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Then you got, after her, you got Coburn, who's hitting just a ridiculous .650 with 7 home runs.
Whoa.
And Jamie Staub, who's batting .526. If you got to keep Jolly off the bases if you're Robbinsville, because there's a good chance those big boppers will drive her in. So, both teams, the top of their lineups are dangerous, and you got to control them if you're going to have any hope of winning the game.
All right, and for the Hun School, it will be Sam Jolly leading it off, and Sam, instrumental in their success, really got the bat going. Let's take a look at the Hun lineup. Sam Jolly leading off, playing second base. She'll be followed by Rowan Lacey in right field, hitting second. Lexi Coburn in the circle and hitting third. Jamie Staub at first base, catching, hitting fifth. Brianna Riviello at third base, batting sixth. Kaylee Jacobs hitting seventh and playing shortstop. And Anna Murphy in center field, hitting eighth. Piper Morey in left field. A straight 9-player lineup, and a slap hit for Sam Jolly is through.
Good start. Good start for the Raiders. Nice slap.
And so that brings up Rowan Lacey defensively for the Ravens. You got Tulene Ali doing the catching, Reagan Robinson at first base, Canuso at second, Krebs at short, and Gallucci at third. As the first pitch a little bit low to Rowan Lacey. In the outfield today for Robbinsville, Carolyn Walls in left, Tomlinson in center, and Aldarelli, the flex player, plays right field today.
We have a bit of a shakeup in the lineup today. The point guard, our producer, Brianne O'Neill, is gone from the PG to the CG as she is the camera girl today.
Oh, a point guard in our lineup.
Yeah.
I thought.
No, I meant in the BCB lineup, yes. The PG has become the CG. It's always exciting when we mix it up a little. It just shows the flexibility of our team.
We're interchangeable parts.
Yeah.
3 balls and no strikes, though, to Lacey. And that one right in there from Katie Ziliani.
Lacey batting .471 right now.
And Katie Ziliani in the circle, working to Ali today. That's the battery for the Ravens. Lines and fires the 3-1 in there. So a full count now to Rowan Lacey after Sam Jolly went up there and slapped a base hit.
Yeah, good job by Ziliani to battle back to 3-2.
And the pitch fouled off. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Got to be mentally tough. You always got to be mentally tough. You know, you give up a slap hit, then you go 3-0, and you're like, if you think about the big picture and what could happen, it'll ruin you. You just have to keep focusing on that next pitch.
Off the end of the bat, a spinner right in front of the plate. Jumping on it quickly is Ali, and she'll throw to first in time. But running on the play is Sam Jolly, and she goes from first to third on the ground ball. So they do get Rowan Lacey for out number 1. But the Hun School with a runner at third and 1 down for Lexi Coburn.
What a great heads-up play just then by Sam Jolly. I mean, you know, didn't even settle, has great speed, used it wisely, and, you know, now you got a runner in third with less than 2 outs.
And you got to credit